What's up, guys? This is Jesse Ogle, and I'm your host of the Vibe Dialogue podcast. It's a podcast for creatives, and I'm also doing a special segment focusing on my time in Squid Games Challenge Season 2. I'll be interviewing a series of players, getting to know them, and also talking about some behind-the-scenes things that you may not know that have happened. Today, I have a really special guest, Claire Felix, number 409. She made it to the 9th player in the game and was one of the coolest people. It's very special. I actually rode on the bus with her to start, first person I met in the games. And so hopefully you enjoy this interview. It's got some really good stuff about behind the things you wouldn't know. And it talks about her personal story and life too as well. Enjoy. Okay, today we are joined by Claire Felix, player 409. This is a Vibe Dialogue podcast. It's a podcast for creatives, but I'm going to be focusing on my time for this segment in Squid Games: The Challenge Season 2. And she was incredible at this game, made it so far. Welcome, Claire. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. I can't believe that we're together since day one, and then
I know
it's our first time connecting again. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't know that, like, you start making connections right away, right? There's no way that they can be like, oh, we'll do a bunch of separate people and they all drop in at this one moment, right? And so, like, from getting off of the airplane, you got to ride with people from the airplane to the hotel where they start prepping you for the show. And we were together from the very beginning. We hopped in a van together.
The first person I met.
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy. And it's like, and it was so cool to watch you go so far. I was pulling for you. Like,
Thank you.
I bet, were you just feeling at that, like when because you got a long ways. Were you feeling like, man, this is this is so close? How, tell me about that feeling. Like how were you down to the last, how many, 10 people?
Yeah. So I came in 10th place. And you know what? There's 456 people when you start. So I never really thought I was going to win the money. I really hoped I would, but I was trying to be as realistic as possible because I didn't want to get super upset if I didn't win. And I knew a lot of it was luck, So I was just like, every day I made it, I was like, wow, I can't believe I made it another day. And like, finally that morning that there was 10 people left, I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually win this. And then I got out.
Oh my gosh.
But it was crazy.
So I know that you are like, when you got the present on your desk, do you feel like you regret? I mean, how, it's always what would have, could have, should have, but like, do you feel like, man, I actually kind of felt like it was this person and I should have went with my gut feeling, or not?
You know what? I had no idea who put it on my desk. Now when I think back to it, I think, wow, I should have guessed AJ, only because when I was thinking for myself, because you don't know who's going to get tapped. You have the blindfold on and you're like sitting there like this, oh gosh. And I didn't want to get tapped, but I also didn't want to get the present on my desk. But I would have rather gotten tapped on the shoulder to put the present on someone's desk. And I was just thinking, okay, if I get tapped, whose desk am I going to put it on? And the first person that came to my mind was AJ's, for whatever reason, because I didn't think she would suspect it. Like, we kind of were cool, but like we didn't really know each other and it would just be random. So thinking about that, I'm like, that was the first person that came to my mind. Why would I not think that she would probably be feeling the same thing and put it on my desk? But I really just, at that point, I had no idea. I was just hoping it was Steven. I didn't really want him to win just because I know I found out that he had a lot of money. Like, he's a super cool dude, but I found out he had a lot of money and I was just like, let me just manifest that he put it on my desk and hopefully get him out. But that was the one game from season 1 when I was watching that I was like, wow, that's pretty tough. I was hoping that they wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
And I did not know that was coming at all. Apparently, the other people in the game, they had a feeling it was coming. I was like, nah, they won't do that game again. And then I walked into that room and I was like, oh no.
Oh man, yeah. Gosh. Like, were you the first person to get out on that game? I think, were you the first one out on that?
I was the second person out on that game.
Okay. How long did it take for you to, like, like between people getting out? Like, what was that time? Was it like a half an hour, an hour? Like, how long was the lag time?
Yeah, it's so hard because we had no sense of time in there. For me, it felt like it felt like it was one of the quicker games, but at the
Mm,
same time, the blindfold was on you for way longer than I would have thought. At least 5 minutes. I talked to some
mm,
other players, they think 10 minutes. But it was that's why like when you watch it from season one, especially, I remember thinking, okay, I would just take the blindfold off and kind of look at everyone's reactions and see if people's eyes are adjusting or like see the reaction. But when you take your blindfold off, it was on for so long that I couldn't see anything. Like my eyes took so long to adjust. And they actually have my reaction one time. They show me, I'm like going like that to the screen. I could not see anything at all. It was so hard. And
mm.
also, what they don't show is they have music blasting in the background. So I would have thought that we could hear people like getting out of their desk or footsteps or anything, but they have music. It's like classical music playing so loud, like almost like nauseatingly loud, and you can't hear anything at all. But yeah, I don't think they show that at all. I don't think you can hear music when you're watching it.
No, you would think it. You think it's quiet. You think it's just like a quiet
Yeah.
room, and like you would be listening for footsteps. It's like
Yeah, no, it's not quiet.
wild. Oh my gosh. So I wonder. I ask people this question. I've like talked to a lot of people now, but like, one of the questions I'm wondering is like, how are you traumatized from this at all? Like, are like I know this is a really great experience and like one that like not many people get to do. And so we're very fortunate in those ways. And of course, there's like a lot that can come from it, but it's also, I found that like kind of traumatizing. Do you find yourself being kind of traumatized by this or is it all good? Everything's good.
Well, I don't know. I'm like very good at like disassociating, but I
Mm,
do remember being in Mingle in particular. I was so stressed out. Like I remember thinking to myself, "Wow, I've never been this stressed out in my life." And I mean, now thinking about that, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty lucky that Mingle was the most stressful experience in my life. If you really think about things that can happen to you,
mm,
um, but it was just crazy. And you're like on 24/7. Like you have to be social. You have to be thinking about your game. You have to be strategic all the time. And it was such a unique and crazy experience. And then you have the aspect of not knowing the day, not knowing the time. Um, I don't know. It was crazy. Traumatized? I don't know if I would say traumatized. Um, but I also don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would go. No, you know what? I would go back. If you would have asked me the second I got home, would you do this again? I probably would have said no. But now that it's been some time, I think I would go back and do it again.
yeah.
So I can't be that traumatized.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is like there's like this just moments like and it's not a lot, but like of like, oh no, like that I have anxiety over that moment of getting out. Now, mine's probably a little different than you because like I'm trying to catch a ball that was thrown like way short and I'm like diving across the gym floor to try to get it. It's
Right.
so maybe it's just that moment, but I've talked to some people that they say, once they get back, there's this kind of like zombie feeling or like drop shock back into and I wonder part of it's just because I mean, obviously it's intense, like you said, and stressful, but like also like we don't have our phones and then all of a sudden we're back into it. Like, I don't know, like, did you feel any like kind of emptiness or anything? Cause I've just, people have been saying that.
Yes, actually, that's a good point. I haven't really talked about this with anyone. Um, but I remember getting to the airport after I got out, and I felt like I could not navigate the airport. I just felt, for lack of a better term, I just felt dumb. Like I felt like I couldn't function. And I kind of explained this to one of the welfare people I was talking to, and he explained it in a really good way that made sense to me. He was saying that, before you enter the games, you're making millions of decisions a day. And like decisions that you're not even thinking of. But when you're in the games, you're told when to wake up, you're told what to wear, you're told when you can eat, you're told what to eat, you're told sometimes when you can use the
Mm,
bathroom, you're told when you can shower. And it's like all those little like micro decisions that you would make on a normal in a normal day, they're making those for you in the games. And so then when you get out, you're like your body's kind of just shocked for a little bit and you have to remember, okay, like now I'm on my own, like I have to pick out an outfit to wear, or I have to like get
mhm,
myself to there, like I have to figure all this stuff out. And that made a lot of sense to me. It also made me think about, people who are in. I was only there for what, 2 weeks, maybe a little bit over 2 weeks. And I'm thinking about people who are in prison and like they get out and try to return to normal life. Like I can't even imagine. It kind of felt like that's what was going on with us. But I mean, obviously prison's a much larger scale. They're in there for a
Yeah.
long time. But
No, I mean it's like Squid Prison, you know.
yeah.
No, it's crazy. Yeah. Well, cool. Like, I mean, it's interesting. I think like a lot of people don't realize, like, you know, and even when you're looking at it, it's like, man, it just looks like a game. It's just a game, you know, and it is just a game, and it's exactly what it is. But it's also like, you know, like people take sports games very seriously, you know. Nobody likes losing, you know. So it's like you know, so it's funny because I went in there thinking like, oh, this is just a game, and then I was like, man, like that was like an intense game, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it was, I don't know, so like I know, like, you know, obviously like I last a decent amount, and but you know, not to the length you did, which is amazing. Did you feel it? Because in the beginning, like we're hanging out, we're mingling, we're get to know people. Like there's a lot of time where we have just we're hanging out, you know, just learning about people's lives and stuff like that. And it's generally a pretty positive environment. Everyone's pretty, you know, I didn't experience any drama between me and anyone. But I would imagine that starts dissipating. And after a while, you're spending this time with these people. And so did you find that yourself, do you find it like finding like, I don't have anything more to say to these people, or us, or just like, you know, I don't really resonate with these people, or how did that move on as time from being like kind of more fun and less drama filled, you know, what was it like for you?
You know, I felt like I was super excited at the beginning, kind of like you said, like there's all these different people and everyone has so high energy. I felt that there was a certain point in the game where I felt exhausted. Like my social battery, I'm a very social person in the outside world. I feel like I can talk to anyone for however long. But in there, I wasn't anticipating how exhausted I would be and how much my social battery would drain. So there were definitely times where I would just gravitate towards the same people because I felt comfortable for like towards them. And that is maybe one of my regrets a little bit, like not getting on a deeper level with other people because we have so much downtime. We don't have our phones, we don't have TVs to distract us. All we have is to talk. But I just remember being exhausted and like I would try to start new conversations with people that I hadn't gotten a chance to talk to yet. And it was just like, it was so hard. And another aspect that I think is kind of interesting about this whole experience is once you do find those people that you connect with, you start talking about things that you would never talk about usually with a stranger that you just met. I'm like talking about like, you know, childhood stuff, like
Yeah.
family trauma, like
Yeah.
all this crazy things that some of my friends at home don't even know about me. So it is really interesting, but it's also cool. And it's also a testament to why people are so emotional because you really do get connected with these people. And then when you see them go home, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, am
Mhm.
I going to see them again? Like, I just had a great conversation with them. And now
Yeah.
they're going home, and who knows? Like, we don't know their Instagram. We don't know their numbers. Like, how are we going
Yeah.
to find them again?
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's I think it's like I don't know, like a lot of people don't get like how like intense that social experiment is. Like, is this a game or a social experiment? You know, it's both. Um,
right.
so okay, so like
Yeah. True.
I ask a lot of people about like, you know, what like scenes do you or stories do you not feel like really were told that well. um you know, I tend to go back it's a personal bias and agenda, but like I tend to go back to the counting game and be like, man, they really did gloss over that. And like what was your like take on that, or do you like, you know, like how do you think that whole went down, or like what was the story that you think was untold there?
Yeah, I feel like so I don't know if you knew that, but I had a sister in there. We went in as a secret duo, so we didn't tell anyone. So I do
No.
really cherish that first game. Yeah, we didn't tell anyone, but she got out in the six-legged race. But the counting game is like only game that we got to be together through this experience the whole time. So I cherish that counting game a lot. Just being with her, it was so cool getting to experience that. But I remember just we were standing in the room and it was just like I don't know if you felt the same way because I feel like because well, I'll get to your part, but I knew that I had no ideas at all, and she didn't either. And I feel like I can be a leader in a room, like if I really have to be. But when there's that many people in the room, and I knew I didn't have any good ideas, I was just like, oh my gosh, I was crawling back into my shell. I was just standing there looking around, observing everything. But it was so loud. Everyone was talking, everyone was screaming, and everyone who raises their hand and says, I have an idea, genuinely thinks that it's the best idea ever. So that's also a hard thing to navigate. Um, but I just remember some of the ideas that they were saying. I was like, oh no, like, oh, they didn't show them all, but I remember like
Yeah.
people saying, oh, like, let's stand up and sit down for each second. And I was like, there's no way that's going to work. And I remember specifically, you raise your hand and you say the idea. I look at my sister, I was like, we need to trust him. That's Jesse. Like, he's a musician. He knows what he's talking about. That's a great idea. And both of us were like, the second you said that idea, I just felt like a calming feeling. I really did. And the way you said it, which I don't know if you know this or if anyone said this to you before, but you had the ability to say it in such a confident way and a calming way that just, I think, really brought peace to some people, because people were getting so excited saying their ideas and they're screaming and they're so like, just not saying it in a confident way, but you were very calm. You were like, look, this is going to work. I'm a musician. And you explained it in a very good way. And I honestly, I mean, I know that if you guys weren't in there, we would have been, I mean, we could have still won, but it wouldn't have been as close as you guys got us. Like, that was great.
Yeah. Yeah. We nailed it. We said we're going to stop 2 seconds short, and we did. And we nailed it perfectly. Like, perfect. You know, you just, and it's really, as a musician, I don't know if, like, I wish the world would know this, but this is very hard to do. If you take a sample size of musicians, you might be lucky if all the musicians that the top 5% all can 5% can nail this like perfectly. It's hard. You know, you have to be practicing, you know, BPMs and understand BPMs. Which I do. That's my whole life, you know, like, and because I teach music and I also do electronic music production. So you're always in BPMs and you're always, and it really helps to sing a melody. And I was like, cool, I know this song, Wish You Were Here. I ended up releasing that song because I was like, oh, they've got to have this like on the show. You know, so I'm going to release this song because people maybe want to find that. But they didn't say the story at all, you know, which is too bad. But once we were like announced the winners, how did you feel? Like, was that the biggest celebration, biggest moment that you had in the whole game, or was there bigger moments of like winning and passing through?
I think that was my biggest moment of celebration, just because, I mean, it's a complete 50-50 chance for me because I just picked X or O. I didn't contribute to the counting. I didn't really do anything besides sit there and listen and have faith in you guys. So for me, I like, and especially because my sister was next to me, I couldn't even imagine people who chose O and just being there and you're so excited and then you have to go home right away and you don't really get to do anything like that. That stinks.
It sucks.
And
It sucks.
that it sucks.
We were so stoked. We were like, I mean, I was screaming, jumping off, you know, Isaiah's shoulders and just like hugging people. It was like literally we won the Super Bowl. It was like it was huge. Gosh, well, that was so cool. And you know, then we went on the next game. Me and you were in the pentathlon together. And I want to see, because it's funny, like it's kind of hard to, they didn't give us a ton of screen time for that because I think because we were pretty good at it. You know, we beat our team handily, and we kind of sailed through the games. What game did you have again?
I had the throwing stone.
Yeah, you crushed that. And you're a volleyball player, right?
Yeah, I played volleyball and basketball and soccer growing up.
Yeah, you're like a sports, you're like, it fit perfect. You know, and then
everyone fit perfectly because no one else knew how to do gongi. Like you were the only one with gongi. I don't know if I'm saying it right. The only one. I was like, perfect.
I was like, I've been practicing it because I knew I was in the games from like in August, late August or something. So I was like, cool. I bought that stuff, bought it from Korea. You know, it's just like I bought a couple sets. And it's funny because my girlfriend's like way better at it than me. She like picked up on it, but I was solid at it. And they made the game easier. I was practicing the one that was on the show. So I was like, oh man, this is hard. Like trying to flip the dice onto your hand, the back backhand. That was the
Yeah.
hardest thing. They're like, oh, you just got to set it there. I was like, what? This is
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Yeah. So we got through that game pretty well. But your sister, was she in our team? I don't remember meeting her.
No, yeah, because we were a secret, so we didn't tell anyone we were
Yeah.
sisters. But no, we decided to split up in pentathlon because we thought, I don't know, we thought that it would be the best move. And then she got out. Her person couldn't do ball and cup. So
Oh, really? Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, so she didn't get to do
Heartbreaking.
her game at all. I know, and honestly, I thought ball and cup looked hard. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that. But Karen on our team, she killed it.
Yeah, there was I couldn't believe it. Some people like first try and stuff, man. Yeah, and then we were on the same team again for like the oh well, I'll go back to like the voting thing for like voting, the players out. I'll tell you my take, but I want to have your take. Did you vote? You voted O with me, right?
Yeah.
You were an O, yeah. That's just there. It is the character right here, the solid human. That's just it's like to me, it was like, why vote these people out when we could just let the game take everybody out? Like who cares if these 5 people are gone? The game is going to take everybody out. So like those little things, those tested characters are so funny because these people are just like oh, it's just one last person. It's just like it's gonna trust me, the games will work themselves out. So I don't that's how I felt. And I was just like, why do this? This is stupid. How did you why did
Well,
I mean
don't be mad at me, but I actually did vote X.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I
okay.
did vote X for that one.
Oh, okay.
I did.
That's
Only
funny.
because, well, one, I know, I was like, oh no, I don't want to tell him. Only because one, I thought if it wasn't those 5, they were going to pull the next 5. Like, I think 5 people were going to go home regardless. They were just going to be like,
That's
I don't think they were going to be like, oh, good job. Like, you guys saved these people. They're going to be like, okay, cool. Next 5 are going to be the fastest 5. And you know what? I didn't even know that was. So I was thinking that you were like the main musician in our counting group. If you were up there, I would have voted O. Like I would have voted to save you or anyone on our pentathlon team, honestly. But I didn't even realize that his name was Michael, right?
Yeah.
Mike. I didn't even realize Mike was involved in the whole counting thing. Like I don't know. I when I watched it back and I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh.
I definitely let it, but they in the show they pin it on him because I didn't offer the drama that they're looking for. Unfortunately, I was like, shit. I could have used that exposure, but yeah, well, so I mean, that does make sense. Now you're the first person that has said, hey, if they don't like let things just go like that. If it's not those 5, it's another 5, which is interesting. It would have been cool to test them, but
yeah, and I strongly believe
yeah,
been another 5.
it probably it's a very good possibility. And then we end up in catch together. We're on the same team again, even though Eric gave us a whole speech about we're sticking together on the same team. Then all of a sudden he's not on that team anymore, which was like. But it was like me, you, and Karen were in that team. And like, I thought that Viper had an idea and I thought it was a great plan and it didn't work out. But what did you think about the plan? I mean, obviously you were in a favorable spot. You're in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of felt similarly in catch as I did in the count where like there were so many different ideas and everyone thinks that their idea is the best. And Viper was the same for me. Like he was the one who I felt like he delivered the plan in a very confident way and it made the most sense. At the same time, I felt like, yes, they were showing this as a team game, but it wasn't really a team game. It was an individual game. And where you stood on the spot really did matter. So I remember thinking, like I play sports my entire life. I can catch a ball. I'm going to catch anything that comes to me. Yeah. Like not really thinking that people are going to have to throw it to you. And a lot of people don't know how to throw a ball. I wasn't thinking that at all.
I know. Me too. Me too.
Yeah. And then so that's what I was thinking the whole time. And then I remember being like, you know what? So I was taking a step back. I was like, whatever, I'll go wherever they tell me. And then at the last second, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't have a good feeling about this. And so like, I kind of ran towards the front. So I was in like the 12th spot. So I was like kind of middle front, which was like, ended up being perfect for me. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was tough because I understood his plan. At the same time, I do think that, he never thought the ball would get that far back. I don't think he did.
No. And he was the
slowly
only.
started going through the line, and then
Yep.
yeah.
He was the only one that it did get that far back to. Like,
Oh, sorry, I think it cut out for a second.
oh, I just said, it was going to say he was the only one that it actually did get to the very end. You know, it was like, what? But he's up for being voted back in because of that. So, you know, hey, he's got a good chance. Well, man, it's been so awesome to get to you. I'm sure there's so much more, but really the next question I have before like we wrap it up is I actually really want to know like who you are, like who is Claire outside of Squid Games? Like what is it that you're doing in life, or like what is it, you know, who are you?
Ooh, that is a loaded question. No. Um, yeah, so I'm still trying to figure everything out. Like I'm right now I'm working as a data analyst in Maine, but like my family is all in New York, so it's hard. Well, they're in New York, New Jersey, kind of that area. So I'm just kind of trying to blaze my own trail. I have three older sisters, and I felt like they all set the bar pretty high in life. Like they were all very successful in sports, very successful in school. And then I was successful too, but they were always just at such like an elite level in everything. They were always winning these awards. And I felt for me, like I just always looked up to them so much, and I always just wanted to accomplish the same things as they did and just make my parents as proud as them. And I struggled at sports a little bit. Like I was good, but they were always great. So I was like always trying to get to that level. I ended up playing basketball in college, and I ended up playing with my sister and one of my sisters. And that was great. But then I got injured immediately. So I was trying to recover from that. And then I ended up finally recovering. COVID hit. I lost the season because of that. And then finally got back to it. I tear my ACL meniscus again and ended my career before I even really got to start. So I know I felt like obviously sports aren't everything, but it was a huge part of my life. And I really just wanted to make my parents proud, and I wanted to accomplish things that I knew that I could get there, but I didn't. And I had to take a step away from sports, and I ended up really focusing on school. And that became something that I decided to be competitive in. And I actually became the valedictorian of my class in college, which that was the first time I was like, oh my gosh, like this is something like my sisters have never done. No one in my family has ever done. And I felt like my parents were super proud of me. And it was just awesome knowing that I was able to accomplish something like that.
That's amazing. That's huge. That's
Yeah, it was
standout.
cool.
So what is your like career pursuits, or like, you know, what is it like? Who do you see? Where you see yourself in like 5 years?
See, that's another thing. I'm just like, I'm such an indecisive person, whereas like I have so many different things that I would do. And I haven't found something that I'm like very, very passionate about. And so I'm still kind of in that search. I love my job now. I'm a data analyst, and it's awesome. But it's also all I've ever done. I got this internship at this company when I was in college, and they offered me a job, and I loved it. So I immediately took it, and I've been there ever since. So part of me is like, oh, do I, go try to find something else, or do I stay at some place that I absolutely love? So I'm kind of still in the search for that.
Yeah.
My sister actually works. She works in sports. She's like in sports business, and she keeps telling me to come there, which I think that would be really cool because I mean that's been my whole entire life is surrounding sports. So it would be cool to tie, something I really enjoy, and then also something that like I can do like professionally. So
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I really feel like, you're like, I just knew from the beginning, like you were just a good human. And it was
Aw.
really cool to just hop in the van, be the first person with you. And then to see you go so far. I'm sad people didn't vote you back in, but I don't think they really, like you didn't offer the drama that like, people are looking for, but like, I would love to see someone like you, have a second chance, or someone like player like Jeffrey, who like selflessly gives of himself up,
Yeah.
But like, it sounds like you have a great future, and like you have a solid like life and stuff. So you're going to be just fine. We're all going to be just fine, right? Um, so we don't need the money. So
True.
if people wanted to find you, like, you have socials out there and stuff, people want to connect with you or like follow you or follow your journey, what's that?
Yeah, my Instagram is Claire_Felix. And I'm on TikTok a little bit. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's Claire_Felix 409.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. I know it's a weird thing, right? TikTok's a weird thing. Cool.
I
Well,
know. It's so weird.
I want to thank you for joining me and thank you for sharing a little bit about your story and your journey in Squid Games and also a little bit about yourself. I hope to reconnect. And if you're ever in Colorado, come find me. I run a music venue. I tell everyone in the Squid Games I got free tickets for you. So if you come out skiing or
Oh my
snowboarding,
gosh, it's
whatever.
awesome.
Yeah, come find me. All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us. Again, this is Claire Felix, Player 409 from Squid Games: The Challenge Season 2. And this was the Vibe Dialogue Podcast. We'll see you again next time. What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed that interview with Claire. What a cool person. All these people that I'm talking to are amazing and have some great stories. And again, don't forget, like, subscribe, all that stuff. It's going to be super helpful to, helping me build this channel, help me affect the world in a positive way. I'm trying to build community. I'm also trying to support artists. And I think all this stuff will really help me grow and better the world. And yeah, so until next time, we'll see you.